guys, welcome back to this week's HanSelah art video. Today's video is something different. It's less of me making art and more of me telling you about my art supplies and the haul that I went on last weekend. I went to a couple of different art shops and there was a huge sale at the one shop. So of course I had to buy a whole bunch of stuff that I don't necessarily need right now. But anyway. Okay, so to start off, the first thing that I'm going to share with you guys is something that I've wanted for years. Oh my goodness, and lo and behold, I am so excited. I got a set of Copic markers. Copic or Copic, I don't really know, to be honest. I'm just going to call them Copic markers. I think they may be Copic, but who even knows. So, got myself a set of Copic markers. I got the tonal grey set. I'm like so, I can't even believe. Yeah, I wanted it for so long and they were on sale and I was just like, you know what, Hannah, do yourself a favour. Anyway, so I'm actually going to do an entire video on these, probably testing them out because why not? I also got a little Copic marker sketch pad thing. I hope this is good. I think I'm going to do like a little video on it and test the Copics on different papers and see what works best. I feel so accomplished. I've wanted these for so many years, you have no idea. They are very expensive, so I'm going to go with these with my life because oh my goodness. Anyway, moving on. And so while we're on the whole thing of markers, let me move on to the next set of markers. I actually picked these up at Typo. Oh, it's upside down. I have used them before. I actually did a video on TikTok with these, my first time testing them out, so my TikTok is linked below if you want to check out that video. I just got them because they were all different skin tones. They're not bad. I mean, I wouldn't use it for higher grade professional drawing or anything like that, but the colors are cool and they are dual tip, same as the Copics, kind of nice, but these are a fine tip, almost like a fine liner, and then a brush tip, whereas the Copics are like a slanted tip, like a highlighter, and then a brush tip. So yeah, and then I just got a permanent marker, a superfine 0.1. I own so many of these because they're waterproof and they work really well. These pencils, oh my goodness. Okay, so I don't know if you pronounce them Lyra or Lyra, or I don't know pronunciation of half this stuff, but I got the Rembrandt Art Design pencils. So sexy. So they go from 4H to 6B. If you don't know what that means, basically all your H means hard and then your B means black. So 4H is 4 hard, 3 hard, 2 hard, hard. F means fun, and then you get your B. So HB is hard black. And then you move on to your B, which is black, 2B, 3B, 4B, so that's 2 black, 3 black, 4 black, 5 black, whatever, all the way up to 9B or whatnot. But these go up to 6B. My personal favorite pencil of all time is the 6B because it is super soft and beautiful and I just love it so much. And it's just got so much versatility. But anyway, so these are another super happy thing that I bought. I also just picked up 2 new erasers. I bought a Lyra, I don't know how to pronounce it, one to match the pencils, those Rembrandt Art Design pencils, and then I also just bought a new putty rubber because my previous one was looking a little bit sad. So if you don't know what a putty rubber is, it is basically a kneadable eraser. Let me show you actually, mine's blue. Here we go. It's a kneadable eraser. I can kind of, to describe it, I would say it's kind of like press stick, like a harder press stick, and it's used for pencil and charcoal works and doesn't actually like leave any sort of residue. So like if you rub a normal eraser on an artwork, you're going to get bits of eraser that obviously fall off when you rub it. This stuff doesn't do that. It's also kneadable and it goes back to its original state. Another thing while we're on pencils, I got this. It is a sandpaper handle or board. I don't actually know what these things are actually called, to be honest. Like, I've never bought one for myself. I've only ever made myself one, and how I made it was I just got a block of wood and I covered it in sandpaper, and then I get my pencils and you roll your pencils over your sandpaper and that sharpens it. And it just helps with saving your lead. You use so much less when you sharpen your pencils this way. So this one, I pretty much only bought it for this handle. So if the sandpaper runs out, I'm literally just going to fill it with my own sandpaper, staple gun it on, and then keep rolling. I really just wanted this handle. So rub your pencils on sandpaper, it works very good. Okay, so moving on, I got these Marco Raphine pencil crayons. It's a set of 24. I got them because they were on sale, and I've never used them before, and I wanted to test them out. And I opened the box and they had such beautiful colors. I'm just like, oh my goodness, look at these. I mean, like, look at this color. Look at this color. I mean, look at how beautiful that color is. So yeah, we'll see how these work. Again, I can do these in another video and test them out with my other current pencil crayons that I use. Moving on to sketch pads and drawing pads, I picked up this circular sketch pad as well. I'm super excited to try this out. It is 165 GSM, so quite thick. It's got 32 sheets, and I'm pretty keen to see how this is gonna work. Then I just picked up an A5 250 gram sketchbook. It's actually, I wouldn't necessarily even say it's for sketching because it's super thick, and wow, the paper's different. It's like very thick board. It's smooth, there's no texture, nothing. So I also got this A5 110 GSM sketchbook. I'm personally not a huge fan of 110. I just find it like really thin for my liking, but I thought it would be nice just for random little pencil sketches on the go. I really like sketchbooks like this where they are bound in the middle as opposed to like a ring bound sketchbook. So here we go. I don't really like the whole ring bound thing. I mean, yes, it is nice and whatnot, but I think I just like the fact that it is joined in the middle, and if I want to sketch over onto the next page and kind of make like a double page, there's no ring bound or hole in the middle that's going to mess it up. Then again, I got myself another A5 sketchbook. But this one is 150 GSM, so it is thicker than the 110. Oh, right. So GSM is basically your grams per square meter, and it's basically how thick or heavy your card is. So, for example, watercolor paper will be like 300 GSM, but newsprint will be like 50 GSM, something like that. So, watercolor card, you need really, really thick card because you're obviously applying so much water onto that. Just think of normal printing carbon layout paper, like if you go over and put a paintbrush full of water on that, it's going to create all those little balls and the paper is going to start to fall apart. And with watercolor cards, you can't let it warp. Often when you wet your paper, it goes all wonk like this. So obviously it's going to be a lot thicker. So this is 150, this is 110, 250, 165. But yeah, so as you can see, you get like so many different types of GSM. Even the Copic one that I was speaking about, that's 157. So that's also, it's not extremely thick, but it's also not thin. So while we're on sketchbooks still, I got an A4. It's a 120 GSM book. I actually picked it up from Typo. The paper quality is not bad. Nice for like random little sketches and that kind of stuff. Also from Typo, I got a watercolor A4 sketchbook as well. This is 160 GSM, so it is kind of thick. Here I was actually just testing out those Typo markers that I bought, these ones. So it was kind of fun. It's actually really textured paper. Okay, so you can kind of see here what I mean by this texture. You see it's like a ribbed. Yeah, you can see it quite well, what I mean. In my pastel work, I had to press quite hard so that it didn't pick up on the texture from the paper. And lastly, I picked up this black sketchbook, also from Typo. It's an A4 sketchbook, it's 110 GSM. I also picked up this white Faber-Castell soft pencil crayon. I just thought it would be really cool to do a bunch of different artworks with this white pencil on the black card. Okay, so another fun part. Every single time I go shopping, I always look for canvases that are on sale or unique looking canvases. I found this really cute little mini canvas. I've painted on these before lots of times, so I just like to get them and then play around. They come on a little easel and it's very cute. I also picked up a circular canvas because I love odd shaped canvases, and I also picked up a triangle. So I'm very excited to paint on these canvases. I also then got some square canvases because you can never go wrong with square. And then I also picked up a whole bunch of rectangular ones. I'm so excited. Anyway, yeah, so I got some little mini ones, and then I got these really nice Venus ones, and then I got these two, which I absolutely love. I think they are perfect for portraits. And then I literally just picked up an A4 one as well, just for fun. I also picked up this Iris Heavy Body Acrylic Paint, and it is so creamy and buttery and beautiful, the consistency. I also picked up a new palette knife because my previous one was broken, so this is a nice little one. I also got myself some new acrylic gesso. If you don't know what gesso is, it's basically like a primer for your canvas. You put it on before you paint, and it's kind of got like a grit inside of it, so it creates almost like a slightly textured surface. It's often used in oil painting to create a layer between the canvas and the paint, and so the paint doesn't seep into the canvas threads. Moving on to fixatives and varnish. So fixatives and sealants and varnishes are very important to protect your artworks. I usually just use a spray fixative on most of my artworks, especially if it's a drawing or a charcoal piece or a pastel piece or anything like that. So I just picked up an artist's fixative. It says it's a product of South Africa. I've never used this brand before, so just to try them out. And then these have been used, but they are 3 different varnishes that I picked up. So personally, I don't like the look of a gloss varnish, nor do I necessarily like the look of a matte varnish. I go for a more satin varnish on my paintings, but I haven't really been able to find a nice acrylic satin varnish. So what I do is I get a gloss and a matte, and then I mix them together as a ratio of 1:1, and then I can just apply that onto my painting, and then it gives me kind of like a really nice satin finish. So those were both acrylic varnishes, and then this is a satin varnish for oils. I haven't tested it, so I'm really excited to start doing that. Hopefully want to be doing an oil painting soon, and I've got really nice new linseed oil as well that I want to test out, so I will then seal it with this and see how it works out. Also, just for my journaling, I picked up some metallic washi tape. It was also on sale. So glue, I can never have enough glue, so just cold glue and 2 prick glue sticks. I do a lot of journaling and that kind of stuff, so I'm forever going through glue and double-sided tape like there's no tomorrow. And the last thing in my art haul was a 2021 diary. I'm not too fussy when it comes to diary covers. Like, I'm not a huge fan of how this looks, but it's fine. It's just going to be drawn on. No one really sees it, and I scribble on my diaries so much anyway, and I put so many sticky notes and to-do lists and random little things all over the place. Like, okay, I can't write on the lines to save my life in my diary. Like, if I had to show someone my diary and they are like in any way OCD, I think they might freak. I did actually buy one other big thing, but I haven't included it in this haul because it's going to be part of another video and I don't really want to give that away. So yeah, keep a lookout in future for one of these exciting videos that I'm going to be doing. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and kind of learned something about the art supplies that I've chosen or decided to get. Have a lovely week, and I'll see you next Monday.